Hey everybody, welcome back to another Godzilla battling video, and today I have for you something that I've been cooking up in the kitchen for just a few days, and I think that it is kind of extremely viable. I've handed this off to a few of the top players. I've been using this myself. I got a pretty good win rate going, so I figured that I would give this to you. This is going to be one of our deck videos, and, unlike some of the older ones where I have, the core essential units and then like a stack of like 100 units underneath that I think you could swap in, I'm trying something different now with the graphic where I am kind of just putting in the corner units that I think are replaced, like you could swap things out with. So take that as you will. So first things first, I've been playing a lot of Battle Line lately, with the gem event going on and the map speed up, all this stuff that's happening. Not gem event, but I've been spending a lot of gems on opening these maps. I've been playing a lot of matches. And what I'm realizing in all these matches, or what I guess I had realized, is that a lot of characters and a lot of the meta characters kind of have to get a little close to do what they need to do. There are some like Kumo Augment that can hit from far away but has very little damage. Megalon can hit from kind of Kumo distance as well but has very little damage. GMK has to kind of get a little close, but that AoE is big, so if you can stay away from that AoE, you're fine. Fourth Angel has to get close. Has to be right up on you to even get the explosion to be worth it, and to even get the his hits to be worth it, right? I'm trying to think of some other characters. Destroy has got to get close. Those larvas got to get close, right? There are a ton of really, really good characters in the meta right now that while they are, if they're long range, they're not doing a ton of damage, and if they are doing a ton of damage, they're going to have to be close. So I think I've kind of cracked this deck list here to deal with all of these characters, where I am able to hit them from farther than they can reach, and I'm out of the danger zone. Now, it is a little tough operating the deck because there are 2 5 costs, there's a 6 cost that's an evolution, but then you have, low cost, you have Psychic Cores, Kumo Augment, and Gigan, who are really, really solid, but the Psychic Cores has helped me out in a pinch quite a few times. So I'm going to go through the list real quick. So I have as my leader Godzilla 89, but I have also Biollante as a suitable replacement. I have Godzilla 89 as the leader, one because mine is level 40, so that's my highest level leader for sure, and my highest health leader, which is awesome. But also his ability that gives the 50% damage boost to units 5 cost or higher is going to give a 50% damage boost to either not Psychic Course, oh my gosh, Super X, Mothra 2019, Ultima, what's his name, and both of the Angels, the 10th Angel and the 4th Angel. All are going to benefit from that. Additionally, I have Biollante as a suitable leader because she's an AoE leader, which is great, but also her ability you can use way faster than Godzilla 89, and it gives, a 20% damage boost to all long-range units. So who do we have that's long-range in here? Kumo, Ultima, Mothra 2019, Super X, 10th Angel, all long range. You can use this ability a ton. Really solid. I like Biollante in this list a lot. You can argue that Biollante is one of those characters that you don't want to have as your leader, especially if London or New York is in play, which is totally understandable. But on Tokyo, when there is no water for your Biollante unit, throw her in as a leader and you're chilling. I got Gigan 04 in here, and the Kamacuras and Kumo Augment. These are some of the units that I think are pretty potent in the meta. I mean, the meta basically is Kumo 4th Angel, right? Megalon, you can kind of throw him in there because he's performing extremely well. But Kumo, obviously, that long-range stun is insane with that AoE. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, right? And that's what we want. We want something like that. You want that large spread, that stun, phenomenal. I don't have to talk about Kumo Augment all the time for you guys. You already know. You play this game, you know Kumo Augment's a menace. Gigan 04, also not going to talk a lot of him, but he got recently buffed, last month with the Final War stuff. So he's doing a lot better now. His long range, his grapple is going to be able to stop Kumo Augments. He's going to be able to stop 4th Angels in their tracks. A lot of people are doing Gigan 4th Angel pushes. He can stop those right there. He can grapple onto the leader. He can take aggro. He's really, really good for keeping units away from our long range guys. Then I got the Kamacuras in here. Now, you can argue in here that the Kamacuras could be swapped out. You could take any of the characters here that I have recommended, like Dimension Tide, Mothra, and the Angel, and be like, hey, you know, I don't need the Kamacuras. I could throw one of them in there, and that's fine. I use the Kamacuras primarily to help Godzilla Terrestris evolve, just as a meat shield. 2 cost, 3 body blockers. That's fine. And I've noticed that a lot of people try to rush the leads this season. There are a lot of Kiryus, Mogeras dropping trains, Dimension Tides, whatever. So I have the Kamacuras kind of just as a backup. That's an old school strat. You know, not a lot of people are using it these days. But you can see right here, I dropped the Kamacuras, and they body block 1 hit from the 4th Angel. They body block that Gigan for me. Gives me enough time to survive and drop the Psychic Chorus on myself. So I like them. If you don't want to use them, they're not super necessary, but I like having them in here. Now, Ultima is probably the main damage dealer of this deck. I mean, Ultima is really good. He's always been really good. His problem is just evolving from Terrestris. We've seen now with Destroya. We've seen now with Shin Godzilla. You know, these units are getting their evolution times decreased. I think it's more than high time for Ultima to have his decrease. Ultima's is like, what, 20 or 25 seconds to evolve, and then he gets off the field and you have to put him back for 6 cost. So it is one of the more difficult evolutions, at least now in this current stage of the game. But he's a phenomenal damage dealer. He's going to do a ton from really far away, and he just absolutely eats up Destroya. 100%. Destroya's not even going to get close, and you're going to be able to mollywop him with that. So you can see here in my field, I got Kumo in front, Ultima on the backside. I got the, what's it called, Super X coming up, and I'm placing units, trying to defend because they're doing that 4th Angel push. Didn't even matter. Stop them then dead in their tracks there. Awesome. Love to see that. Then we got Super X in here, but I think that you can swap Super X for Mothra 2019. Mothra 2019 and Super X both can do the same thing. I'm using Super X at the moment for really long range and high damage. Right? Or I guess it's not high damage, but it's a lot of damage from long range. It's kind of hard to deal with. Mothra 2019 kind of brings that in. Low damage from far away, but provides stun immunity, and will give stun immunity to everyone that is in her AoE for like 20 seconds or something like that. And her long range is a slow, which is really good. You're going to be prevented from stuns from Kumo, and you're going to be able to slow your opponents, which gives you more distance between you and them. I think Mothra 2019 is the unit that you want to run in this instead of the Super X. I just don't have her at a usable level. Mine is level 6. I'm not going to take her into rank 66 in the arena as a level 6. I'm going to stick with my level 30 Super X and call it a day. Additionally, with Mothra 2019, when she dies, you get 2 energy back. She's effectively a 4 cost. You pay 6 up front. When she dies, you get 2 in return. She's basically a 4, but that 2 extra energy could help you maybe cycle in something that you're maybe lacking. I've got the Psychic Chorus here and the Dimension Tide, but I was at one point running this with Psychic Chorus and Dimension Tide instead of Kamacuras. That's fine. Psychic Chorus is pretty much to keep everything alive. You know, Gigan has low health, Kumo has low health, low health for not long health. Gigan has low health, Kumo has low health, Super X has low health. Kind of using the Psychic Chorus to keep them alive longer, and also keep some of my other units alive longer, like Terrestris. You see here, I used the Psychic Chorus on Terrestris, and it was just enough to survive the Mogera and the Dimension Tide. I get the evolution. Dimension Tide, I've been kind of using just to like keep characters away. I am really like dog shit at using Dimension Tide, so I stopped using it, but I think there are a lot more skilled players that can use Dimension Tide more effectively than me, so I'm including it here. I think it's good for keeping units away. You can keep them clustered for either the 4th or 10th Angel, whichever you decide to pick, and Kumo Augment. They're going to get clustered up by the Dimension Tide, and it's just going to be phenomenal. You're just going to wipe everything there. Or you can keep Psychic Chorus, whatever. I like both of them. I think they're pretty interchangeable, pretty good. The Angels, 10th Angel and 4th Angel. Everyone knows that 4th Angel is all over the meta right now. One of the best characters in the game for sure. I like him a lot. However, I was finding that, putting him on the ground, he's great for the explosion and everything. He's perfectly fine in this deck, but I had a better time running the 10th Angel because of the piercing. This deck has a lot of single target between Ultima and Psychic Chorus, and then you put that Angel in there, the Kamacuras. I mean, you have Kumo, which is AoE, but other than that, you don't really have a ton of AoE. So I put the 4th angel, or the 10th angel in here, because he's got piercing, super long range piercing, mind you. He's immune to explosions, so he's going to be immune to the 4th angel's explosions, and he explodes himself. So he is really, really good up against all of these 4th angels, because they can't hit him because they don't hit air, and then when they explode, they can't hit him either because he's immune to explosions. So he's got a lot going for him that I really like, so that's why I'm using him in here. And he's a flyer, so immediately it takes a lot of characters that maybe can't, there's a lot of characters in the meta that can't hit him. That's pretty good. So that's the deck. I'm loving using Ultima again. Having him dish out a ton of damage has been super helpful. He's the main damage dealer of the deck. Everything you're doing in this is to kind of just support your Ultima, keep them alive, keep them dealing damage. You can pretty much take down most, if not all, of the current meta decks with this deck purely by playing smart. You are not going to be winning a lot of 1v1 confrontations with the meta characters. You are not going to be winning a lot of head-to-head team fights where you're right up on each other's throats. However, if you can keep your units alive and you can keep them far away and you can keep the enemy far away from you, you're gonna... Excuse me, I was just about to burp. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You have a ton of power hitting from way further away than a lot of these characters can even reach or hit. So you are going to be getting a lot done with these long-range characters. I think Ultraman, honestly, now that I'm looking at this list, could probably fit in here too, being immune to stun, and you could throw him in there probably instead of Gigan or Kamacuras, but I like both of them for body blocking. But man, I'm telling you that this deck, don't sleep on it. I'm more than welcome to hearing what you guys do to experiment with this deck. I don't think that it's in the perfect form yet, but I very, very much believe that the long-range units are the counter to the current meta. A lot of the current meta characters are really low health, low damage, or have to get really close. So if you use some of these flyers and some of these long-range characters that are high damage, long attack time, but from far away, I think you're going to see a lot of success, especially if you play smart. This isn't like a brain-dead deck, because a lot of the meta decks is just send 4th Angel out, send Kumo out, send Megalon out, send Gigan out, just like let them all fight everybody and just kind of brain-dead. But if you play this smart, if you really pay attention to how you're placing the units, when you're using, Psychic Chorus, what you're doing in the match, if you really pay attention, you are going to be able to outrange and outpace your opponents. I really do think that this is one of the next big decks. If you use it, let me know what you think. If you change it up, experiment with it, let me know what you think. I do think that Mothra 2019 is in the ideal version of this deck, but like I said, mine is a bit low level, so she's not in mine in these videos, but I do have her in the recommended section. Let me know if you like the graphic, if you like that better than some of the old graphics. I think I like it better. I think it might be a little hard to read, but I can always touch it up in a future video. But this is what I got. This is the deck that I'm using. This is what I cooked up. Let me know if it's good. Let me know if you're eating with this or if you're throwing this meal out, because I think I cooked. I was in that kitchen whipping it up. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Bye-bye.